You're looking live at Cleveland Browns Stadium, a sellout crowd in attendance to watch the Browns and the Jaguars. Great football weather today, 44 degrees, a little windy at kickoff time. Jacksonville has won the toss and will receive. Butch Davis is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. His record 6-6. They lost to New England last week 27-16. Very important game. Cleveland still in the hunt. They're chasing the Jets, New England, and Baltimore. Miami, Pittsburgh, Oakland with good chances of winning their division. Oakland has already won the division with their win over San Diego yesterday at 10-3. On the other sideline, Tom Coughlin's team has been hurt by injuries this season. However, they continue to play hard every game. Jacksonville leads the series. However, Cleveland won the last meeting 23-14. In that game, Tim Couch threw for a season-high 249 yards. So we are ready. Elvis Joseph is back deep for the Jaguars, and he starts from his own 12. Joseph straight ahead over the 30 up to the 34. Tackled by Wally Rayner on special teams, a 21-yard return, and Joseph is down. And gets up slowly. And here come the Jacksonville Jaguars, led by Mark Brunell. His numbers in the first meeting, he was knocked out by Gerard Warren in the first meeting. Warren subsequently fined $35,000, and a lot of Jaguars, especially on the offensive line this week, talking about paying back Mr. Warren.
Well, they were talking about that. Mark Brunell said he didn't want to talk about it at all, and he said our guys can't afford penalties and we can't afford to get in fights today, so they got to be smart.
First down 10 at the 33-yard line for Jacksonville. They hand it off to Stacey Mack, who runs over the 35, gets up to the 37. Dwayne Rudd with the tackle. So Jacksonville coming off a 14-10 win over Cincinnati. And let's take a look at the offense. Fordham, Meester, Smith, Wiegert, and Maurice Williams, the rookie out of Michigan, who's having a fine season. The backs and receivers, Fred Taylor missing his 11th straight, so Stacey Mack is the starting tailback. Smith and McCardell, the dangerous wide receivers. Kyle Brady is the tight end. 2nd and 5 at the 38. There's McCardell in motion, the former Brown. And Brunell firing underneath. This ball is caught by Sean Dawkins. And Dawkins crosses the 40, gets up to the 44, a gain of 10 on the play as Henry comes up to make the tackle. Defensively for the Browns against New England last week, they intercepted Tom Brady twice and allowed a season-low 81 yards rushing. Rodgers, Warren, Smith up front with Rayner in the middle. Jameer Miller has 10 sacks, second in the AFC. And the secondary, Fuller, along with McCutcheon, playing with an injured ankle. Coach Fazio, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland. 1st and 10 at the 48. Here's the handoff to Mack over the right side, and he is stood up and driven backwards. Jameer Miller in on the play.
I guess one of the things the Jags have to do is at least try to run the ball today with Fred Taylor out. And having missed so many games thus far this year, they haven't had much of a running game. And when you go back to throw without a running game, you're going to get a lot of pressure. The Jags gave up 8 sacks last week. Mark Brunell took some serious shots. And there's Fred Taylor right now on the sideline. And boy, do they miss this guy.
Injured his groin and has missed 11 straight. Here's the play fake. Brunell all day to throw the football into the flats. He finds Mack. Mack cuts it up and gets inside Cleveland territory to the 44-yard line. Corey Fuller with the tackle, a gain of 8, and they really missed this guy, one of the great young running backs in the National Football League. And look at the record with him and the record without him.
Yeah, very significant. Go down to the bottom. You've got to have Fred Taylor. He's just so important and such a threat from that running back position. And it really helps open up the passing game, and it really helps the offensive line, because when there's not a threat of running the ball, and the other side of the ball, the defensive players are teeing off on you, it gets tough to pass protect back there.
Jacksonville will be short of the first down by inches. It will bring up 3rd down and about 8 inches on the play. And Fred Taylor kind of got into a little hot water this week with the media. He was quoted as saying that he was unhappy about his contract situation and that the Jaguars were paying bargain basement prices for his services. I talked to Tom Coughlin yesterday, and he said Fred may have been caught off guard a little bit and said some things that he didn't really mean.
Yeah, he called himself a blue light special, and sometimes the media can corner you into saying some things, and they were probably questioning him about being potentially trade bait and some of the things, the Jags cap issues coming up. So sometimes you say things that you don't really mean and you get frustrated. But hey, nonetheless, they miss Fred Taylor, especially Gus. 3rd and 1s this year. Jags are only 5 of 15. You gotta convert on 3rd and 1.
So they need a yard. Stacey Mack is the deep man. Kyle Brady goes in motion. Here's Mack straight ahead, picks up the first down. You know, I think you are a blue light special, though. You know, you are a blue light special. As Jacksonville picks up the first.
I want to know what being a blue light special means.
I think that's like the cheap meal you can get at the diner or something like that.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm serious.
They didn't beat. Yeah, no. It's a bargain basement deal at Kmart. Hope they're one of our sponsors.
First down and 10 now at the 41. Jacksonville, their first drive of the game, and they spread it out. 5 receiver package, empty backfield. Brunell goes underneath, and it's caught. Jimmy Smith with the catch at the 33, a gain of 8. Tackled by Anthony Henry. And Jimmy Smith, what a year he's having. That was his 88th catch of the season, already over 1,000 yards with 6 touchdowns.
And Jimmy Smith, along with Keenan McCardell, are the best receiving tandem in the National Football League.
And maybe in the history of the NFL, Jimmy Smith with 1,000-yard seasons, he's close to catching Lance Allworth. One more. And most of those guys are either Hall of Famers or soon to be. And this is Jacksonville picking up a first down after a gain of 3. Mark Smith with the tackle. And Jacksonville, their last touchdown on an opening drive, check this out, came back in 1999, 2 years ago versus New Orleans, when Damon Jones caught a 7-yard pass from Brunell, and the Jaguars beat the Saints big 41-23. So they've struggled getting it into the end zone early.
You talk about a drought. And a big part of that's going to be Jameer Miller getting in the face today to stop that of quarterback Mark Brunell. They've been lining up a tight end on his side thus far.
Here's Mack again, breaks through and dives forward, gets to the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 9, Little in on the play.
Now watch Ryan Prince here, the tight end on Jameer Miller. Block him down inside. Jameer tried to just push off and spin around, and there's the hole, and you see Stacey Mack coming right back through. And that's going to be a big part of this Jags offense today. Put a tight end in front of Jameer Miller. Todd Fordham, the left tackle, has had trouble pass blocking, and so they don't want Jameer Miller to have a free run at quarterback Mark Brunell.
9th play of the drive that started at the 33. Matt skipping outside, bottled up, heads backwards, and may have lost some yardage on the play. Dwayne Rudd with the tackle. Little in on the play as well.
And that's been a hallmark of this Browns defense this whole year. They're a swarming, aggressive defense. They've bent a lot. They've given up more yardage than they would like, but in the red zone, they are the best in the National Football League. They do not give up touchdowns down here. Very stingy defense in the red zone.
You're saying something positive about the Browns.
Hey, you know, I believe it or not, I like the Browns.
3rd down and 1 at the 20. McCardell in motion. Now he rolls out of the pocket, and Brunell throwing on the run finds Keenan McCardell in front of Corey Fuller.
And that's just a classic play that a lot of people run from the West Coast offense called a sprint option. You have the quarterback breaking out of the pocket. The one receiver is going to run a hook. One's going to run the quick out right there. You see Keenan McCardell coming into your screen right at the first down marker. And Mark Brunell has the option to hit that quick out if it's there, and you get a step on the corner, and you obviously picked up the first down.
Keenan McCardell close to 800 receiving yards on the year. 1st and 10 at the 17. Brunell 4 for 4 on the drive, in trouble, fires incomplete. And Mark Brunell under a lot of pressure. Marquise Smith, backup safety, came on the blitz.
And I know some people might think that's intentional grounding. You got to get out of that box. And you see Mark Brunell just getting outside of the pocket, which is tight end to tight end, and getting rid of that ball. That was awful close there.
Brunell was wearing a leg brace, and he throws it off. Brunell, one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the National Football League, has been suffering from a quad injury. And it's getting better, starting to respond to treatment. 2nd and 10. At the 17, here's the draw play to Mack with a huge opening. Mack powers his way down to the 3-yard line. Anthony Henry with the tackle, but it's a gain of 13.
Little draw play here, and everyone expects the Jags to throw the ball. Look at the hole back inside. That's what Stacey Mack sees. You got to tackle. Stacey Mack's a big, strong back, and when he gets a full head of steam going, he's tough to bring down.
6'1", 235 pounds. 7 carries, 36 yards on this drive. Opening drive for the Jaguars. They're at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Mack again following his blocks, looking to get outside, and he stood up and driven backwards. It will be a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Smith with the tackle, and this drive is coming up on about 7.5 minutes.
And really just being able to hand off the ball to Stacey Mack and have him get some positive yardage has really alleviated that Browns pass rush. Mark Brunell's had time to nip and tuck down the field. No huge plays, but they've been getting little chunks here and there, converting on 3rd down, and that's been a big part of it this first drive.
2nd down goal at the 4. And a whistle. And this will go against Jacksonville. Somebody moved.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's Todd Fordham, the left tackle.
And what that really does is it backs your offense back to the point where you're going to probably have to throw it now a couple times. Here's a left tackle, Todd Fordham, and Jameer right in front of you, Jameer Miller, and just that little twitch, that can get you.
So they back it up to the 9, 2nd and goal. 5 receiver package once again. Empty backfield for Brunell. Looking, now dances out of the pocket. Brunell decides to run and gets back to the 5-yard line. So it will bring up 3rd down and goal at the 5 for Mark Brunell.
And that's the best I've seen Mark Brunell move for the last 4 or 5 weeks. You can tell that quad injury is getting better. He was quick out of the pocket. He hasn't been as quick. He's been dragging that leg a little bit the last few weeks.
So what do you want to run with the ball on the actually 4-yard line, 3rd down and goal?
Well, play action isn't going to fool anybody, that's for sure at this point. You know what? This has been a big spot for Jimmy Smith. You know, that's who Mark Brunell looks to. Also got to watch Kyle Brady, though, in there, inside in the middle.
Here's Brunell looking, the slant over the middle, touchdown. And it's Jimmy Smith. Good call, partner. Smith on the slant, and Brunell puts it on the money.
And Brunell puts it on the money. Watch the slant route right here. Jimmy Smith right into Dalen McCutcheon, sitting there waiting for it. Just took a step back and was backing up a little bit when Jimmy Smith was coming on in. I don't know if Dalen had seen that ball come out of Mark Brunell's hands, but great concentration by Jimmy Smith.
7th receiving touchdown of the year for Smith. And here is Mike Hollis in to attempt the extra point, and he shanks it. Hollis has been struggling this season, and the struggle continues. So here in the first quarter of play, the Jaguars lead 6-0. Jimmy Smith with the touchdown, the 4-yard reception. However, Mike Hollis misses the extra point, and that was the first touchdown on an opening drive for the Jaguars since 1999. So Cleveland ready to take over, and they will start from the 10. King running. And Andre King gets over the 30 up to the 32. Stopped by Jason Kraft on the play, a 23-yard run. So Cleveland down 6-0. Tim Couch will look to get something going after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Cadillac, the fusion of design and technology. And by the Travel Industry Association of America.
Frosty the Snowman with some nice moves at the downtown wall here in Cleveland. First down and 10 for the Browns from the 32. Jamel White in the backfield. Tim Couch to pass on first down over the middle. It is broken up. Donovan Darius coming over from his safety position to break it up. Tim Couch had a very nice game versus Jacksonville, their first meeting. As a matter of fact, his best output of the season when he threw for 249 yards.
And we've seen Tim have a couple good games against the Baltimore Ravens as well this year. And I think part of that has been when they spread the offense out, go 3 and 4 wide receivers, give him a chance to have some options. He looks very comfortable, sees the field well back there from that quarterback position.
Second down and 10 at the 32. Here's the handoff. And it's Jackson running over the right side, picks up maybe 3 on the play. Actually, they say it's 4. Let's take a look at the offense for the Cleveland Browns, ranked 30th overall in the National Football League out of 31 teams. Verba, O'Hara, Willaba, Bedell, and Chenois. Meanwhile, the backs and receivers, James Jackson is the feature. Kevin Johnson having an outstanding season as usual. Northcutt, Jake Moreland, the H-back, and O.J. Santiago is the big tight end. 3rd and 6 at the 36. Here's Couch looking underneath. It is intercepted. Jason Kraft with the interception, and he advances it to the 40-yard line. And that is our first turnover of the day. And Couch has struggled recently. He's thrown 9 interceptions and only 2 touchdowns in his last 4.
And trying to pick on Jason Kraft just started today for the Jags, throwing it into zone coverage.
Back to Cleveland after this. Jason Kraft with his first interception of the season for the Jaguars. And Jacksonville takes over at the Cleveland 40-yard line. Tim Couch throwing the interception. He now has 10 interceptions in his last 5 games. The handoff, Mack. Breaks it outside. Mack still running at the 30. And Mack goes down at the 28-yard line. A gain of 12.
And Gus, let's take another look at that interception. Watch right here, Jason Kraft playing that 2-deep coverage. You jam the wide receiver, then you stay right out here in the flat. Now watch, Tim Couch actually is reading man coverage, so he sees the back, Jawan Dawson break out, but there's Jason Kraft coming right back into the zone in the flat outside and making the pick. And I'm sure the minute Tim let that ball left his hands, he was thinking, give me that ball back.
There was defensive coordinator Gary Moeller, who's been criticized for soft coverages this season. Brunell throws the slant, and he throws it behind Sean Dawkins. And Dawkins takes a hit from Corey Fuller. Fuller with a big interception return for touchdown last week versus New England. Here's one of the guys that is one of the great competitors in this league. He'll talk to you and play you hard every game.
And he told us talking is a big part of what he does. This was his first touchdown return for an interception. Great job tipping the ball up to himself and making a little bit of move. You see a little shake and bake by Corey, and I'm sure he let those Patriots hear about how great that interception return was.
49 yards, 2nd down, 10 at the 28. Mack again makes the first man miss and gets to the 25 on the play. Without Fred Taylor, it's been very difficult for this Jaguars team. However, Mack is a very tough inside runner, and he's really doing a good job this season in what could possibly be an audition for somebody else down the road.
I think so. And one of the big things he's got to do is hang on to that ball security. He's lost a couple earlier here in the season, and I know that why the Jags kind of got away from running the ball, but it's been an important part of their offensive attack thus far today.
3rd down, 7 at the 25. Brunell out of the shotgun, looking, pump, steps, fires that one low at the feet of Stacey Mack, and that will bring up 4th down.
And here comes Mike Hollis, and there's nothing worse you can do as a kicker than miss an extra point. He hooked it bad last time. Like you said, he's had some trouble this year, and it's just like a golf swing, Gus. If you lose your confidence, you don't know what's going to happen, and swinging that leg isn't a whole lot different than swinging a club. And so he's got to get some confidence back here at some point.
He's missed 4 of his last 6. This one from 44 yards out. 10 of 18 on the year. Gets it up. And it's good. So he's got his swing back. And the Jaguars take a 9-0 lead over the Browns.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. We can help you see yourself succeeding. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser. with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Stadium. In the game summary so far, Jacksonville with the 9-0 lead. Tim Couch throwing the interception, resulting in the 43-yard Mike Hollis field goal. So Hollis ready to kick it away, and Ben Gay is back deep. And this will be Gay fumbling it, picks it up at the 20, and Gay driven backwards, and they should spot this one at the 20 or 21-yard line. Joe Wesley coming in and making the play. So with 3:28 to go here in the first quarter of play, it's a 9-0 Jacksonville lead. Santa's helpers, and the Browns need a little help right now, down 9-0 early here in the first quarter of play. And Cleveland takes over at their own 23. Jackson and White in the backfield. Jackson goes in motion. Here's the inside handoff. White with running room, and White over the 25 gets to the 27. Donovan Darius with the tackle. Defensively for the Jaguars, they held Corey Dillon to only 62 yards rushing last week against Cincinnati, when Walker Payne and Tony Brackens, who's having a very solid season. Hardy Nickerson is in the middle. Thomas and Posey on the outside. And in the secondary, Jason Kraft had an interception. Kawaki Thomas. And Gary Moeller is the defensive coordinator. He was the head coach, taking over for Bobby Ross last year in Detroit. They swing it out. Jackson with the catch, lowers his shoulder, and he gets close to the first down on the play. Kawaki Thomas with the stop. Now let's head to New York for an update. Here's Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Gus. How about this touchdown drive by the Bengals? 20 plays, 12 minutes. Corey Dillon, the final yard. It's 7-0 Cincinnati. They've started the second quarter. Let's go back to Gus and Brent.
Well, Gus, I wonder if the Jets are going to be able to answer that call, and a big part of it's been the offense. I heard this week that Wayne Corbett's a little upset, and I don't know if Paul Hackett's dialing up the right plays because he has a lot of weapons there in New York.
Here's Jackson. And he crawls forward and maybe a yard. Denver and Kansas City going at it today. Here's Jim Nantz in New York.
Kansas City and Denver, Gus, and the Chiefs put together a nice drive. Priest Holmes, who leads the league in rushing, 12-yard touchdown run, 10-0 Chiefs. 2:48 to play first quarter. Let's go back to you.
What a year for Priest Holmes, though. Comes over from Baltimore as a free agent, and he's leading the league in rushing and in all-purpose yards.
And if the Ravens still had Priest Holmes and he was having that type of year,
that is true,
they would be on the way to the Super Bowl.
Meanwhile, Jackson is hurt. We will see if we can see what happened here.
And he's going to pound it inside and get that first down. You got to see him clipped right there on the side of the knee, the right knee, and still able to press forward. Great effort by Jackson. There's the shot right there, kind of in the hip and the knee. Great balance. You talk about leg strength. And a big part, Gus, this second half of the season, the Browns' running game has been shut down, and that's really hurt their passing offense as well. Tim Couch, a lot of pressure, and you've got to be able to give your line a rest, your offensive line. You can't not have a running game. You see James Jackson with 548 yards this year among the rookies, doing a pretty solid job. And first chance to see LaDainian Tomlinson the other day watching the Raider game. He looked pretty darn sharp. He's got some speed to the outside. And that's a big blow to the Browns right there. James Jackson not putting any pressure on actually that left side. So I wonder if that shot in from the right caused his left leg to collapse a little bit.
James Jackson, third-round pick, has to be helped to the sideline, and Jamel White comes in. Expect to see Ben Gay as well. He wears number 34, first and 10. At the 34-yard line, Cleveland just devastated by injuries this year. Here's White looking for a hole, and he is wrapped up and taken down by Jeff Posey.
And you talked about Cleveland being devastated by injuries this year. 14 guys on injured reserve. That's got to be some type of a record. And key guys across the board. Their defensive line at the beginning of the season was really their strength. Courtney Brown's been banged up. Keith McKenzie on IR. Orpheus Roy. Big blow early on the offensive side of the ball. Trey Johnson and Ricky Dudley. And that is just, it's tough to keep winning in this league with injuries.
Second down 9 at the 35. And Couch underneath. It's caught. Nice catch made by King. And Andre King gets to midfield. It's a gain of 15.
And Butch Davis saying, hey, let's keep this up. Tim Couch with some time, able to step up into the pocket. Andre King doing a nice job of finding that hole in the middle of the field in the zone. Just go ahead, get over that ball, turn your shoulders toward the quarterback, show him your numbers, give him a good target.
Another Miami product. 1st and 10 at midfield for the Browns. Trailing it 9-0. Couch finds White. Wide open. White turns it up. Goes forward. Should have enough for the first down in front of Kawaki Thomas. A gain of 10 on the play. And he stays in bounds. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play with the score. Jacksonville 9, Cleveland nothing, but Cleveland driving. We'll return to Brown Stadium right after this message. Log on to NFL.com as Vic Carucci breaks down the Packers' offensive approach and how it's resulted in their position atop the NFC Central. Just go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line for the Browns. Play action, Couch looking down the field. Nobody there. Throws up the sideline for Wright. Incomplete. He also stepped out of bounds at about the 17 and then came inbounds.
Now once you step out of bounds and you come back in and you're the first guy to touch it, that's an illegal touch. So even had Jamel White caught the ball, it wouldn't have been able to stand, and they're going to have that penalty marched off against him for that illegal touch. And I like the way Jamel White catches the ball. He had a couple of huge catches last week versus the Patriots coming out of the backfield. You see them go to him a couple times early today.
Illegal touching of the pass. Number 30, offense. The receiver went out of bounds, came back in, was first to touch the football. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Now here's Jamel White right here stepping out of bounds and then coming back in. And there's the first touch. Now if it's touched by a Jacksonville player first, you can come out of bounds and catch the ball.
Makes it first down and 15 at the 44. Ben Gay running, and Gay is tackled at the 43-yard line. Hi, everybody. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones. Let's set the record straight. You like the Cleveland Browns.
Why are you picking on me? Why are you picking on me?
Oh, the fans have been ripping you all.
They have
been,
because on a couple of replays I went against the Browns earlier this season.
But you like the Browns.
They take their football seriously here in Cleveland. I don't blame them.
Right now, Cleveland driving with a great opportunity. Tim Couch fires. It's incomplete. Fans want a flag.
And we didn't get the flag right there. And one thing I haven't seen all year is Kevin Johnson drop the ball. He is the playmaker for this Browns offense. And here's the pressure. 5 yards, and that's what they call pass interference, Gus, and I don't blame Kevin Johnson for being mad, and obviously he didn't drop the ball. Pass interference. Hey, I agreed with the replay for the Browns.
Yes, you did. But it was not called.
Yeah, that's the bottom line, is what the referee said.
3rd down 14 from the 43. They need to go to the 30 for first down. Tim Couch looking under pressure. Steps up. Couch on the run. Couch looking. Breaks it back and is taken down at the 38. Hardy Nickerson with a nice tackle after a gain of 4. So James Jackson has to be taken off the field. He has a left ankle sprain. His return is questionable.
And we talked to the Browns, and Coach Davis told us they had some packages in for James Jackson and Jamel White in the backfield at the same time. So that's going to upset that part of the offense for sure.
Chris Gardocki, left-footed punter, hangs one high in the air, and Damon Gibson touches it. Flags on the play, recovered by Cleveland. But I think this will be interference called against the Browns as Dwayne Rudd interfered. And Butch Davis is saying he was blocked into him.
Fair catch interference. Kicking team. Number 57. 15-yard penalty. First down. Timeout.
Because you got to give the returner room to catch that ball. And Dwayne Rudd didn't do it intentionally, but he did fumble.
Welcome back, Jacksonville with the 9-0 lead. That's Al Lerner on the right, the owner and chairman of the Cleveland Browns, Carmen Policy, the president and chief executive officer on the left. And Mr. Lerner is a former Marine, a former pilot, very tough and bright man. His team, though, down right now 9-0. Goodell on the play fake finds Kyle Brady, and Brady gets to the 40. And you are very familiar with Carmen Policy.
Yep. Our old president from the San Francisco 49ers, and probably one of the greatest things that they've done here in the last year. One of the best decisions they made was one of the toughest decisions they had to make, and that was getting rid of Chris Palmer as the head coach and bringing in Butch Davis.
For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. 2nd and 2 from the 40. Here's Mack with a huge opening. Mack dragged down from behind at the 49. Tackled by Devin Bush, but Mack so far running the ball hard. 11 carries, 59 yards, and we have 12:30 to go here in the second quarter of play.
And Stacey Mack is a load to bring down, low to the ground, great leverage. That's a tough legs, churning. It's tough to tackle him.
First down and 10 at the 49. Mack once again running over the right side. This time Wally Rayner trips him up. The young third-year middle linebacker out of the University of Virginia. And that will bring up 2nd down and 7. Jaguars once again in Cleveland territory. Mark Brunell starting this game 6 of 8 for 39 yards. He's hit 5 different receivers already. Out of the offset eye, Washington and Mack in the backfield. Brunell on the short drop, deflected and completed. Jimmy Smith again, and it's Anthony Henry with the tackle.
And Jimmy Smith talked to us yesterday about taking some chances against Anthony Henry, and he has a lot of respect for the rookie who's got 7 interceptions, but he said, hey, he's still a rookie and he hasn't seen some of the moves that we've got. And Keenan McCardell as well said, hey, we're going to take some shots at this guy.
Henry closing on the play, respecting Jimmy Smith's speed, giving him a cushion. 3rd down 2 at the 43. McCardell, the motion man, out of the gun. Brunell looking, dances out of the pocket. He's in trouble. Brunell will not get the first down. Out of bounds at the 45, and Jacksonville is forced to punt it away. So that brings on Chris Hansen to punt for Jacksonville, averaging 44 yards, 22 punts this year. He's left inside the 20. Dennis Northcutt is back deep, standing at the 10 for Cleveland. Nice snap. Hansen, wobbly kick. Northcutt over to the sideline, lets it go over his head. It hits the pylon, and that will be a touchback. A 46-yard punt. A 26-yard net. Almost, but not quite.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Heineken. And by Nextown, how business gets done.
I would bet you that these two have been nice, and Santa's going to be really good to him when he makes his big journey. First down and 10 at the 20. Jacksonville on top of Cleveland, 9-0. Tim Couch throwing to Morgan, the intended receiver. Tonight on the CBS Sunday Movie, Emmy winner Patricia Heaton of Everybody Loves Raymond, and Emmy winner Peter Falk star in a magical holiday story for the whole family. Don't miss the world premiere of A Town Without Christmas tonight on CBS. Second down, 10 at the 20. Browns need to go to the 30 for first down. Here's the handoff, White straight ahead. And White gets to the 24. Hardy Nickerson, the middle linebacker, coming up with a stop after a gain of 5.
And we've talked about the Cleveland Brown defense being solid, consistent, very opportunistic with 27 interceptions coming into today's game. But their offense this year hasn't been ranked as high as they want. And you look to playmakers, you got Kevin Johnson. They've had trouble running the ball and really trouble finding that number 2 receiver that's going to step up and make plays. We saw Quincy Morgan make a big touchdown catch versus the Ravens. Northcutt's been hurt off and on this season. They've got to have somebody step up and make a play other than Kevin Johnson.
They need to go to the 30 for first down. Couch in trouble. He finds Dawson, and Dawson gets down to the 30-yard line. Battles with the tackle, but it's a gain of 44.
And that's exactly right. Everybody's looking for Kevin Johnson. Somebody's got to come up and make the big play, because the focus of every defense that we've talked to this year when we've done a Browns game is stopping Kevin Johnson. Jawan Dawson running down the middle, one-on-one versus Hardy Nickerson. You've got to be able to beat a linebacker, a wide receiver down the middle. No safety help. That had to be a blown coverage from Jacksonville, because you're not going to let a linebacker go one-on-one versus a wideout down the middle.
So after the 44-yard pickup, Cleveland has it at the Jacksonville 31. Couch, and he is dropped at the 40. Ronaldo Wynn got around that left side, came charging in, and forces the sack.
And Tom Coughlin told us Ronaldo Wynn has just been a warrior this year. Watch him coming from the outside. Watch the pressure. Look at leverage. When you're lower than an offensive lineman, you're going to move him back. Not only did he get movement, but there was a seam created by that, staying low. Look at that charge. Ronaldo Wynn, that is getting to the quarterback quickly.
Couch doing a nice job holding on to the football. A loss of 7 on the play. 5th sack of the year for a win. 2nd and 17 at the 38. Here's the quick strike. And Quincy Morgan bottled up, taken to the ground at the 40. Kawaki Thomas with the tackle. A loss of 2 yards. So that will make it 3rd down and 19 for the Browns. They need to go to the Jacksonville 21 for a first down.
And Gus, realistically, to get into field goal range, they need probably about 6, 7, 8 yards. And that's probably what they're shooting for. Don't go for the whole enchilada right here. Just try to get 3 out of this deal.
Couch stepping up underneath. Bengay. He spins and is downed at the 40. Kawaki Thomas, and I don't believe he's going to be in range, and here comes Chris Gardocki.
No, and Ben Gay's a young player. When you catch that ball, you don't want to go to the sideline. You got to get vertical, up and down. You could have got 4 or 5 yards going straight ahead. That would have clearly put the Browns in range for the 3 points, and you can't go side to side, east to west. That's what kills you in this league.
Damon Gibson stands at the 10. Gardocki floats it in the air. Gibson with the fair catch at the 11. A 28-yard punt. 7:09 to play here in the second quarter. 9-0 Jacksonville. 7:09 to play in the second quarter, and the Jaguars lead the Browns 9-0. Jacksonville takes over at their own 12-yard line.
Jacksonville, Gus, so far has been controlled in their passing game. They haven't taken those big shots downfield. I know they have it in their arsenal. Maybe now we're going to see him throw it, start trying to take a shot downfield.
First down. And this is Mack. Goes nowhere. Gang tackle. He may have picked up a yard. Wally Rayner leading the way. Next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, stars from sport and screen, including Phil and Steve Mayer, Tony Danza and Steve Garvey slalom head-to-head at the Merrill Lynch Celebrity Classic. That's next here on CBS. Second down 8 at the 14. Under 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Brunell sprints out and the pocket collapses. And he is sacked by Dalen McCutcheon. Second sack of the day for the Browns.
And that was going to be their shot downfield. Mark Brunell was looking deep, had a receiver. Didn't have time to set his feet. Dalen McCutcheon coming from the corner spot. Mark Brunell's blind side, steps up, and there's McCutcheon.
So McCutcheon, who had a tender ankle, sprained the ankle last week versus New England, but is in the lineup today. Third down 15 at the 7. They need to go to the 22 for a first down. Brunell passing out of his own end zone. Underneath, Mack with the catch, turns it up and is wrestled down by Corey Fuller. It's an 11-yard gain, so Jacksonville will have to punt it away.
And that was a big tackle by Corey Fuller, and that's a tough job as a cornerback to tackle big Stacy Mack, especially with that full head of steam.
Chris Hansen standing at the 3. Dennis Northcutt back deep. Wobbly kick. Northcutt takes a few steps in. Starts from the 37. Northcutt loses it. Loose ball. Who's got it? I believe it's the Jaguars. And what a hit by Joe Wesley. Dennis Northcutt coughing it up. And the Jaguars recover it at the 35.
And Gus, you talk about a textbook hit. Wesley, helmet right in the chest and on the ball. Northcutt, bang! And you see that ball just fly out of there. That was a shot, and that's how you teach players to tackle.
So Northcutt has had some problems holding on to the football this season. Should have had a touchdown last week versus New England. He wasn't able to hold on to in the end zone. And Wesley, as you mentioned, Brent, a textbook tackle. And that is the 10th fumble in their last 4 games for the Browns. They've lost 5 of them. First and 10 at the 35. Mack trying to get around the corner. Does. High steps out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
And Jags head coach Tom Coughlin told us the key is not lose the turnover battle versus the Browns. That's how they get in position to win. And let's go back, Gus, and hear this hit. And you can hear all the fans go, whoa, because they knew that was a shot.
Second down 8 at the 23. Look at the 33. Brunell sets up in the pocket, in trouble again. And Brunell goes down. Dalen McCutcheon once again on the play. And how does Mark Brunell hold on to this football?
You know, the great quarterbacks have that sixth sense, and somehow that ball sticks in their hands at the toughest times, and it didn't. Geez, it was starting to come out. He pulled it back in. Dalen McCutcheon, a ball hawk, going for that ball. And this Browns defense has just been impressive. They just are tenacious. They won't give in, and that's been a big part of their success this whole season.
Third down 8 at the 33. They need to go to the 25 for a first down. And a timeout has been called by the Jaguars.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by A Beautiful Mind, starring Academy Award winner Russell Crowe and directed by Ron Howard. And by Best Buy. For the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy.
Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. The Nextel halftime report.
Gus, big third down right here. Don't want to let Jacksonville get that first or get him into field goal range. I don't think that he'd go ahead and take a shot with Mike Hollis, the way he's been kicking from 52.
They're 3 of 6 on third down conversions today. They need to go to the 25 for a first down. Brunell in trouble. Brunell stays on his feet, fires on the run. It's caught. Sean Dawkins with the catch at the 20.
And what an effort by Mark Brunell. And the Browns are saying his knee was down. And actually watching it initially up here, I thought his knee touched when Gerard Warren came busting through that line. Watch 94. Is anybody going to block him? Watch him drag it. Mark Brunell's knee just hit right there. It looked like it.
And Brunell wants to get his team to the line of scrimmage to snap a play. And
there's the shot. Is that knee down, Gus? Yes, that was down.
It was down.
And there's the red flag coming out of Coach pocket, Coach Davis. And we've seen so many red flags this year. That button that they press is supposed to go right to the officials. And the red flag's the backup.
That the quarterback's knee hit the ground.
And Butch Davis is going to be 100% right on this one.
And Gerard Warren breaking through. He's got Brunell's jersey. And if the knee hits, he is down right there. And there it is. Great camera work. That means it's a sack. Gerard Warren came busting through that line. And there was nobody that even blocked him. Looked like some confusion there. And there it is once again. Heck of an effort by Mark Brunell, but once that knee touches, it doesn't matter, and that's going to be a sack. No ifs, ands, or buts. And this is why we like replay. Because the officials do a great job of going back and looking at the replays, getting the calls right most of the time. There's some things that are just on the fence and tough to call. This one isn't one of them. Lock, stock, and barrel. And how about the pressure Gerard Warren has provided for this Browns defense the last couple of weeks? The big man in the middle turning out to be one heck of a draft choice.
We talked to him yesterday, and he told us that at 6'4", he's had some problems with leverage, but he's been working with his coaches on staying low.
Staying low, getting under the pads of your opponent is really the key in this game, because you can move a bigger and stronger man if you're under his pads. And Gerard Warren is already big and strong.
And this is how replay works. As you take a look.
After review, the quarterback's knee hit the ground at the 42-yard line. It'll be fourth down on the 42-yard line. Please set the game clock to 4 minutes.
Cleveland will not be charged with a timeout. That's the 4th sack of the day for the Browns.
And a huge play by Gerard Warren, and clearly you see the knee going down right there. But that's what this Browns defense has been about all year. They'll bend, but they rarely break, and it's kept him in almost every game this season. And that's been the huge difference in this Cleveland Browns team from the last couple of years.
But more importantly, that negates a huge gain for the Jaguars, and it gets them out of field goal range, the sack. So the Cleveland defense holds them off once again as Warren comes up with the sack. And now Chris Hansen has to punt from his own 44. Third punt of the day. Wobbly kick heading for the end zone. It gets into the end zone. This will be a touchback. Mika Ross unable to hold on and establish possession inside the 5. A 42-yard punt, a 22-yard net. Now tomorrow on CBS, it begins with the King of Queens. Then it's a very merry Monday when Mary Tyler Moore reunites with Ed Asner and Cloris Leachman on The Ellen Show, followed by all new episodes of Everybody Loves Raymond, Yes, Dear, and Family Law Monday on CBS. Cleveland Browns Stadium here in downtown Cleveland, where the Jaguars lead the Browns 9-0. Jaguars had an 8-minute and 40-second drive. Their opening drive was resulting in a touchdown. Mike Hollis missed the extra point. Then Tim Couch threw an interception, and the Jaguars ended up getting a 43-yard field goal from Hollis. And that's where we stand. 9-0 right now. 3:24 to go, and let's take a look at some of the important numbers. Stacey Mack running the ball well with 66 yards rushing. Also has 19 receiving yards. Tim Couch, 2nd down and 7 at the 23 out of the shotgun. Couch throws to right out of the backfield at the 25. He gets out of bounds at the 32, gain of 9.
And Jamel White is a weapon in that passing game. You got to continue to use him. It's a great opportunity for a mismatch. Running back versus a linebacker or a safety. And I'd like to see him throw the ball even more to Jamel White. Until they're going to take it away, keep hitting him with it.
New England leading on the road at Buffalo. And as you mentioned, that New England-Buffalo game for the Patriots, that's a mousetrap game.
Oh, that is a big trap game. They're looking forward to the game next week versus the Dolphins. You can't look beyond an opponent in this National Football League.
White stutter step around the corner, and he gets to the 40. Clock continues to run. 2:40 to go. And James Jackson, he went out of the lineup with a left ankle sprain. And his return is doubtful. Now we've been told he will not return to the game, so White and Benjamin Gay will get all the carries today. 2nd and 3 at the 40. White again. And White scampering to the outside and goes out of bounds at the 46. Donovan Darius pulling him down, but it's a gain of 6.
And that was some impressive acceleration for Jamel White. It was all bottled up inside. And watch him go ahead. He gets inside right here, feels the hole clogging up, and he bounces it out. Right here, watch these next couple steps. That's acceleration. Get beyond the defensive players. Get up and get the first down. Showed us some shake and bake on the run before that. Jamel White stepping up today and having a big day.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning with the score. Jacksonville 9, Cleveland 0. Saturday after football, 2 hotbeds of hoop collide when Keith Bogans and the Kentucky Wildcats tangled with Jared Jeffries and the Indiana Hoosiers on the home of the NCAA Championship, CBS Sports. 9-0. Jacksonville on top of Cleveland 2 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. And Cleveland with 3 timeouts remaining. They break. They have it at their own 45, 1st down and 10.
And this is Kevin Johnson time. This is when Tim Couch looks for Kevin Johnson to come up with a big play.
Underneath, it's caught inside Jacksonville territory. It is Kevin Johnson with the reception, his first catch of the day. Jason Kraft coming up with the tackle, and Kevin Johnson comes into this game with 62 catches, 8 receiving touchdowns on the year.
And this is just a slant route coming outside, and watch him use his body. Does a great job shielding the defender from the ball.
And they dump it off. This time it's King looking to get bounds. He does. And the clock stops at 1:28.
Sometimes players get so obsessed with getting out of bounds they forget to get the first down. And King right there bolted from the sidelines. Had he turned back inside, he could have got the first down. Now, of course, the Browns would have to burn a timeout, but you got to get that first down. Now it's 3rd and 2. You don't want to have those.
At the 47. Here's White looking for the first down, lowers his head, he will not get it. And the clock will continue to run unless they call a timeout.
And Gus, he's going to probably be about a half a football short, I believe, depending on that spot of the first down. And why aren't they calling a timeout? Are they just going to not go for it? And maybe they're trying to wait for a timeout for measurement. The officials aren't giving it to them.
And now the officials call a timeout.
Lost some seconds there waiting for the officials to go ahead and give it to them.
But they needed to get inside the 45, and the ball is clearly on the outside of the 45.
Yeah, it's going to be probably a half ball to a ball short of the first down.
There you go. So if you're Butch Davis, what do? You're faced with 4th down and 1 at the 45. 1:01 to go.
I'd go for it. Your offense has no momentum coming into the second half. They've been 6 of 7 this year on 4th downs. I think you're still playing for that playoff spot. Be aggressive. And that's exactly what they're doing. I'm glad Coach Davis is going for it. You've got to get some momentum. You don't want to go into the halftime being shut out. You've got to feel good about something.
So here we go. 4th down and short. They hand it off, and it is Gay lowering his head. Jacksonville thinks they stopped him.
And you know what? Gay, Gus, was carrying the ball low. His helmet and shoulders were over the first down, but the ball was low, and they're going to mark it where the ball is, and I think he's going to end up being short once again. He got so low that he almost tripped over his feet.
So they bring the chains out, and we'll measure it. It's going to be very... No, I don't think he has it.
No, and you're going to see Ben Gay get really low here. He's going to be carrying that ball low. There's the ball down here. Here's his head and shoulders. His head and shoulders are across the first down marker. The ball was not.
And he didn't get there. Cleveland comes up empty, unfortunately, for the Browns, with 44 seconds to go here in the first half of play.
And you don't want to make too big of a deal about it, but Andre King, remember that second down, he went and got out of bounds instead of getting up vertical and getting the first down. First downs are what you need in a 2-minute drill. Obviously, you want to conserve time, but they weren't able to end up converting that one. And Jacksonville, now they're very aggressive in the 2-minute drill. They will definitely go for it. Good field position. Haven't heard from Keenan McCardle a whole lot today. Maybe he's going to work some underneath zones here in this 2-minute drill.
2 timeouts remaining for the Jaguars. Kyle Brady in motion. This one batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. And Tyrone Rogers, the second-year man out of Alabama State, getting a hand on it. Ben Gay on the bench, burning up right now, unable to get that first down.
And Gus, it really matters about where that ball is once your knee hits, once you're blown dead, and that ball obviously was carried low. Officials did a great job of marking that ball.
2nd and 10 at the 45. Brunell, and he is sacked for the 5th time today. Jameer Miller, that's his 2nd sack of the day. Miller now with 12 on the season to lead the AFC.
And I'm voting Jameer Miller for the Pro Bowl.
It's a no-brainer.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Watch big number 95 here against Todd Fordham. Strength, strength, pull, rip. You see him rip that arm underneath. There's the shot on Mark Brunell.
34 seconds to go. Timeout Jacksonville. Back to Cleveland after this. 34 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 3 timeouts remaining for Cleveland, only 1 for the Jaguars. 3rd down, 17 at the 38. They need to go to the 45 for a first down. Brunell rolls backside, sets up, throws across the field. Dawkins with the step. Incomplete, and a flag on the play.
And I think Gus are going to call Anthony Henry for running into Dawkins. And clearly, that is a tough throw, but Dawkins had 2 steps on Henry. Mark Brunell gave it all he could, throwing back across his body after rolling out.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37, automatic first down.
And here's Dawkins getting ready to come back for the ball. And Henry, you see him push his arm out and push Dawkins. Just trying to find position, but once you extend that arm, the referees are going to call it every time you see him extend it and Dawkins fall down.
A 37-yard penalty. So the Jaguars have it at the Cleveland 25. They are in field goal range.
And you know what? You go right back after the rookie after he's made a mistake. A penalty, get back in his head. Watch for Jimmy Smith here.
Here's Brunell looking for Smith up top. Incomplete. He had to step on Henry. Brunell put a little too much on it.
And that's exactly what they were thinking. Henry makes a pass interference penalty, and you put your all-pro receiver Jimmy Smith on him, gets a step, runs right by him, and just off the outstretched fingertips of Jimmy Smith.
And Brunell, he knows that he missed one.
This Jacksonville offense very aggressive. When they see a little blood, they'll go after you.
They still have a timeout remaining. They can't throw it over the middle. Here's Brunell looking, steps up, and goes down again this time. It's Tyrone Rogers, sack number 6 on the day. And Jacksonville calls the timeout with 16 seconds remaining in the first half, leading it 9-0. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. So what do you do right here, Brent Jones?
Well, you know what? In this area, Mark Brunell really likes Jimmy Smith. And if he's getting doubled, then it's time to go to Keenan McCardell across the middle and get those guys up. You might be able to spike the ball and have one more play.
Brunell underneath, caught by Brady at the 15, and Brady goes down at the 16. A flag on the play, however. Now a late flag coming in. Warren is clapping.
And I think they were holding big Gerard Warren, except he might have come back and said something. I think maybe Smith came back and took a shot at him, the center for Jacksonville.
And that's what Mark Brunell talked to us about yesterday.
He said we cannot afford penalties and we cannot afford to lose our composure, and that's going to take him out of field goal range.
Holding. Offense. Number 73. Penalties decline. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 73. 15-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Now there's the hold, the takedown on Smith, and watch after the play. Watch after the play's over, this shot right there. And the referees know what happened the first time these teams played. They're looking for something just like that.
As a matter of fact, Gerard Warren's father told him to be careful. His father, a master sergeant, retired as a master sergeant, is in attendance today with Gerard's mom, and he said, son, make sure you're careful. And Gerard said, hey, Dad, I have to play my game today and not worry about anything. So here comes Brunell with 7 seconds to go. Looks down the field, and he'll let it fly into the end zone. Intercepted. I believe it's Henry, and that will be his 8th interception of the season. And it takes us to the end of the first half with the score, Jacksonville 9, Cleveland nothing. So the penalty costing Jacksonville, and this is the Hail Mary.
And Anthony Henry going up and getting that ball. Watch that nice footwork, keep his foot in bounds. 8th interception, very impressive for the rookie.
But Cleveland unable to get anything going, no points on the board. Coming up, it's the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Nothing, Jacksonville on top of Cleveland at halftime. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, not a lot of offense for either team in that first half of play.
No, and the Jags, of course, had that first drive down the field and a lot of Stacey Mack. But really, Cleveland has shut down their passing game. Other than this big play right here to Jimmy Smith, running a slant route right in front of Dalen McCutcheon, catching the ball. Not a huge play downfield, but of course getting the 6 points. And of course, Mike Hollis missing the extra points, which could come back to haunt this Jags team.
All right, let's take a look at the statistics from the first half of play. And the one that jumps out at you, Brent, sacks allowed, Jacksonville having all kinds of pass protection problems.
That is a monstrous number. The Jags gave up 8 sacks last week, which was a club record. 6 in the first half for the Browns, and that has really allowed this Cleveland defense to shut down the Jags passing game. 27 passing yards. When was the last time Jacksonville had 27 passing yards at halftime? It's amazing that they're ahead 9-0.
Jacksonville this season, they've lost some very, very close football games. They lost earlier during the year to Baltimore 21-24. They were leading with about 1:30 to go. Also on the season, they lost to the Ravens by a point, 18-17. Lost to Buffalo at home, 13-10. Tom Coughlin still with the fighting spirit on the sideline, refusing to give up. They beat Cincinnati last week and are trying to use anything they can to motivate their team, and that's why all week long they've been talking about this Gerard Warren hit on Mark Brunell. And I don't know if they're as upset with the hit as they are with just needing something to help this team to continue to keep going, to play hard.
Well, they've played hard all year, and I think that's been a credit to Tom Coughlin. They're 4-8. Obviously, the Fred Taylor, the Tony Baselli situations really hurt this team, hurt this offense. But they haven't given up, and their bags clearly aren't packed yet for the end of the season.
And this ball goes out of bounds at the 1, so Cleveland will have it at the 40. So let's go back. First meeting of the season. There's Mr. Warren, the rookie out of Florida. And on the interception, this is what happened.
Now, the quarterback's fair game and an interception, but Gerard Warren goes ahead and lowers his head, helmet-to-helmet contact. And now, although a flag wasn't thrown, they ended up fining him $35,000.
And you said there's some kind of code in the NFL.
Well, you don't want to take another guy's quarterback out like that. And I think that's it. And I think Gerard Warren, he's a rookie in this league. He doesn't know. He just knows interception. Hey, I'm going to go block somebody. And so I don't think it was the intent was as much as Jacksonville thought it was. Needless to say, Mark Brunell was out for a game, and the Jags' season spiraled after that.
1st and 10 at the 40. Couch looking. Fires underneath. O.J. Santiago with the catch at the 45. Gets up to the 47. And O.J. Santiago, we reported last week in New England that a warrant had been issued for his arrest because of marijuana possession in Pittsburgh. Well, a couple of days after that story broke, it was on the front page of the paper here in Cleveland. The charges were dropped, or the charges were lessened, and as a matter of fact, one of the officers apologized. So O.J. Santiago wanted to make sure that story got on the air, and we got it on the air for him as Cleveland runs the ball and gets to midfield.
And, you know, I think a big part of the Browns' offensive success here in the second half, if they're to have any, is going to rely on Jamel White, not only running the ball, but back to his matchup coming out of the backfield. He's shown us that he can make some things happen catching the ball. Kevin Johnson held to 1 catch in the first half. It's time to get Kevin Johnson the ball as well.
Remember, James Jackson injured his left ankle in the first half. He will not return. Tim Couch setting up, goes over the middle. White with a nice one-handed grab, and he gets to the 38. Edward Thomas with the tackle. But little Jamel White, a second-year player, was found after serving some time on the Indianapolis practice squad.
And guys, look at this concentration. Little one-hander, stick it in that glove. Nice job, presence of mind. Grab the ball, tuck it, get upfield. Made some big plays.
Out of South Dakota. A gain of 11. 1st and 10 at the Jacksonville 38. Here comes the blitz. And Jacksonville's Tony Brackens jumps off sides, and he says, hey, since I'm there, I might as well make the tackle.
Well, you said here comes the blitz, and they did. It just hadn't snapped the ball yet.
Defense. Number 90, unabated to the quarterback. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
And we've got to give some credit to the Browns offensive line today. They've only given up 1 sack this first half. Coach Davis shuffled some spots around there on the Cleveland offensive line, just said, hey, we've got to change it up. Tim Couch took too many hits last week.
So far, their offensive line doing a very good job. Ross Verba moving over from right guard to left tackle today. O'Hara in the lineup as well. Here's White again. Flag on the play. Spins forward. Gets inside the 30. But holding is the call against Cleveland.
Holding, offense. Number 63, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Brad Bedell.
I think Brad Bedell had a hold of Gary Walker and just took him down. And Brad Bedell's not happy about that. Here's Walker right here. There's right guard. Looked like a wrestling move. And that, you know what? That didn't look like a whole lot of holding to me. Sometimes penetration, if you get that, the problem is the officials see that right hand on the back. You got to reroute that hand inside the framework of the body, because when they see it on the back, they're going to call it every time.
First down at 15 at the 43. White lowers his shoulder. This time he's wrapped up. Gary Walker with a very nice tackle, and that'll bring up 2nd and 13 at the 41.
And Tom Coughlin talked about the Warriors for his team this year, and obviously 4-8 isn't exactly what you'd hope to have, but Seth Payne and Gary Walker, Ronaldo Wynn, Donovan Darius, who we talked to yesterday as well, who can just really light some people up across the middle. I look for Darius to be in the Pro Bowl here these next couple of years. He is really making a name for himself.
2nd down, 13 at the 41. Couch drops it off. White again. Gets outside. Oh, nice stutter step. He's finally taken down at the 32. Will be about 2.5 yards short of the first down. James Boyd with the tackle coming from the safety spot after a gain of 11.
Well, we talked about getting Jamel White the ball, as well as Kevin Johnson. Jamel White going ahead and getting out and making some things happen with the ball in his hand. He's proven to be a weapon coming out of the backfield.
Makes it 3rd down and 3 at the 31. White with 4 catches for 43 yards. Here's Couch, the shovel pass. White. And White will lose yardage on the play. Tackled at the 36. Seth Payne. Cleveland trying to catch Jacksonville sleeping. And that'll bring up 4th down, and I believe Butch Davis wants to go for it.
Well, that's a long field goal. That'd be about 54 yards, 53 yards. And if you don't make it, then you go ahead and give the ball to Jacksonville at that spot. So you might as well go for it. Take a shot.
Kevin Johnson lines up at the top of your screen.
And one of the things that we got to remember, Cleveland's still playing for that playoff spot.
Yes,
6 and 6, they're still on the hunt. So, hey, be aggressive. Go for it.
Here's Couch out of the shotgun. Couch going underneath. It is incomplete. Dawson dropping the football. Kawaki Thomas there, and the Browns turn it over on downs.
And I think you got to give credit to Kawaki Thomas. He was right on top of that, getting his hands inside. Tom Coughlin saying, that's the type of defense we need to play.
(9-0) Jacksonville on top of Cleveland, and the Browns turn it over on downs. Jacksonville with the football at their own 36. Mack running to the outside. It goes out of bounds. Wally Rayner in on the play along with Marquise Smith. Now tomorrow it's a very merry Monday when Mary Tyler Moore reunites with Ed Asner and Cloris Leachman on The Ellen Show. Plus all new episodes of your favorite comedies, The King of Queens, Everybody Loves Raymond, and Yes Dear, tomorrow on CBS. 2nd down, 13 from the 33. Brunell under pressure again, somehow breaks a tackle, gets out of his pocket and dumps it onto the sideline. Wally Rayner had a shot at him, and he couldn't wrap him up.
And I think Wally Rayner is saying, how did Mark Brunell get away from me? And the coach is saying, hey, come on, Wally, hang in there. And he is frustrated. He had a sack, clear shot, right around on the stunt, gets right by his man, and Mark Brunell just gives him a little limp leg and dances out of the pocket. That's as clear as a shot as you're going to get at a quarterback standing back in the pocket.
3rd down, 13 at the 33. Rayner out on 3rd down, the starting middle linebacker. Jacksonville needs to go to the 46 for a first down. Here's Brunell looking underneath, caught by Jimmy Smith. First down, Jaguars. Anthony Henry with the tackle. It's a gain of 16. And with Dalen McCutcheon hurting, Anthony Henry is going to get a lot of one-on-one coverage with some of the best receivers in the league.
And well, he's been doing a great job thus far today. And you see Henry right there coming across.
Actually, it wasn't Henry. It was Corey Fuller covering that time.
Henry made the tackle, but these defensive backs for the Browns have shut down this potent Jags passing offense thus far today.
Mack with the opening dives ahead and gets to the 37. Mack with some good running today, picks up 12. 15 carries, 63 yards.
And Tom Coughlin told us they're going to have to mix it up, get some balance back in the offense. That means running the ball. Look at those holes. Stacey Mack, a big back, hitting the hole. And you got to credit the Jags offensive line. They've come under some scrutiny the last couple of weeks, giving up an awful lot of sacks because they haven't been able to run the ball very much.
Here's Brunell on the draw play. Mack again, high-stepping through the hole, bounces it outside. Mack tackled from behind by Jameer Miller at the 18, and a flag on the play. It's a 20-yard pickup, make it a 19-yard pickup. And an illegal block called against the Jaguars.
And I was just going to say, what a great job Keenan McCardell was doing downfield blocking, and Sean Dawkins, number 84.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Sean Dawkins.
And I don't think Sean Dawkins believes that that was an illegal block. And I saw him hustling downfield, and that's what you want as an offense. You want your wide receivers willing to go downfield and make some blocks. And here he is blocking Anthony Henry. And here's the shot. Yeah, and you know what? He did do exactly that. Sean's got to know better than that. Once you lose the guy, he comes off you. You can't go and hit him in the back.
Brunell, quick strike to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Dawkins. Let's head to New York. Here's a Denver, Kansas City update. Jim Nance.
All right, Gus, I'll tell you who's having a hot day. Trent Green, he's only misfired once today. Here he connects with Derek Alexander. The feet were down, they say. Touchdown Chiefs. They've doubled up Denver now. 2010, early third. Let's go back to Gus and Brett.
All right, Jim, and Trent Green has struggled this season. It's nice to see him finally getting something going for Dick Vermeil and the Chiefs as the Jaguars continue to run. Big game out there for the Denver Broncos. They're in the playoff hunt as well, along with the Browns. Seattle also. Denver at 7-6.
And the Cleveland fans have to be happy about that Denver score.
Especially when you consider the Jets are losing to Cincinnati at home, and they have had troubles in the month of December winning football games. They've lost 2 in a row. And New England leading by 3 over Buffalo in the third at Buffalo. Third down 1 from the 30. Mack looking for that 1 yard the hard way, and he, I believe, has it as Wally Rayner tackles him.
Well, that's going to be awful close, Gus. I saw Wally Rayner knife in there and get a hold of Stacey Mack's legs. And it really depends on the spot, but I actually think he might be 3 or 4 inches short. And they're calling it 4th down on the field. Watch Wally Rayner get a hold of the big man's legs. Don't let him get a hold, full head of steam. You see him coming from the backside right there. Because Stacey Mack has those powerful legs, and he's built low to the ground. Falling forward, that's tough to hang on to him.
So they're going to measure it.
And I saw the referee signal 4th down on the field, and it's got to be 6 inches short.
Yeah, he is short. Let's say 5.5.
Yeah, you're on me. You've been on me all day.
No, I'm just trying to help you.
Okay, buddy. You better be careful.
Tom Coughlin. The rumor around Jacksonville is he may be the next coach at Notre Dame.
He was amused when we sang the Notre Dame fight song.
Exactly. We sang the Notre Dame fight song for him.
He laughed, although he didn't deny the fact that he is a potential candidate. But I don't think he really wanted to talk about it. Big 4th down. Jags actually going for one this time instead of the Browns. Watch big Stacey Mack.
1 of 9 on the season. Brunell straight ahead. Let's see where they mark it. His forward progress should have it for him.
Yep, he's going to get it with that forward progress. Probably by about the length of the ball. He had it initially, then took the shot. And what a warrior Mark Brunell has been for this Jags team. We've talked about the leg injury. We've talked about the finger injury, and continues to battle week in and week out. You see he's going to clearly be over that 1st down marker. And it's going to be about a half a ball, Gus, is my
guess.
Expectation here.
And they have it. It's a full ball.
There you go.
And Mark Brunell has been battered and bruised, continues to gut it out every week. He's had a concussion, a strained quad, a finger laceration. Thought it was interesting yesterday. He said he wanted an autographed Steve Young helmet.
He likes the 49ers. He liked the 49ers. The original lefty running around out there, old number 8.
First down and 10 at the 28 here. Brunell fires. It's caught. And McCardell, the former Cleveland Brown, with the catch at the 16. It's a gain of 12.
And we talked to Keenan as well. Got a lot of friends still here in Cleveland, wanted to come out and have a big day. And felt like they were pretty confident. He said when he and Jimmy Smith were on, nobody could stop him. And thus far today, the Browns defense has done a pretty good job of shutting down these potent wide receivers from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
11th play of the drive that started at the 36. Draw play, Mack cuts and goes down at the 15. And since 1996, nobody's been better than Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell. These two receivers causing nightmares for opponents. And look, the most receptions since 1996. Jimmy Smith #1. And McCardell is #5.
Just outstanding receivers across the board. I love Jimmy Smith, his work ethic, the way he does things, and just very soft-spoken, quiet, makes it happen.
Brunell looking underneath. McCardell with the catch inside the 5-yard line. Keenan McCardell, a native of Houston, Texas, went to UNLV. Makes a nice grab in traffic. A gain of 12.
And Mark Brunell continues to take shots from this Cleveland Browns defense. See Dwayne Rudd coming through, getting his arms up. He didn't want to roughing the passer penalty, but still, the Jags have had trouble protecting Mark Brunell. And Cleveland knows they got to get to him if they're going to have any success.
First down goal at the Cleveland 3.
Got to use Kyle Brady right here. This is Kyle Brady time.
Browns call a timeout. 4:15 to go in the third quarter of play. Jacksonville up and driving.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Welcome back. Jacksonville on top of Cleveland 9-0, and Brent Jones doing his best electric boogaloo impersonation. First down goal at the 3 for the Jaguars. Here's Mack, and Mack dropped for a loss. Warren coming up and making the play, but Mack has a career high of 97 yards rushing on 21 carries.
And they've needed that running game today because their passing game hasn't necessarily been in sync. And first down is really the time I like play action. That's before. That's the element of surprise. Now it's 2nd and 5, and you know they're going to pass. That takes away the play action opportunity. And now you've got to just get somebody open in a shortened area down from the 5-yard line in.
Here's Brunell, a flag on the play.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
It's Maurice Williams, the rookie out of Michigan, 2nd-round pick.
And Maurice Williams has done a nice job this year.
Very nice job.
A nice rookie year. You got to be able to continue to fight. Obviously doesn't expect to be 4-8 at this point. And you know, Gus, now it's 2nd and 10, and sometimes receivers and quarterbacks like being pushed back because it gives you more room to operate. You can get into your pattern more. You can make more moves as opposed to being compressed there inside the 5.
So 2nd and goal at the 10. Brunell with the handoff to Mack, and Mack crawls ahead and gets to the 6. Earl Little with the tackle.
Little up in that lightning safety position, coming up and going ahead and read and run. And knifing through and getting to Stacey Mack's legs. Very important here. almost for sure Jags are thinking right now they're going to throw the ball. I don't expect to see Stacey Mack carrying the ball here from the 6-yard line.
3rd and goal at the 6, 15th play of the drive. Here's Brunell, and it's picked up. Here we go, Anthony Henry. Can he outrace Brunell? Yes! The rookie with the huge play, and Cleveland's back in this game. A 94-yard interception return for a touchdown. Make it 97.
What an impressive young man this is. The defensive back position, every game we've had him, he's looked like a veteran out there. This is the same play the Jags went to on the first Jimmy Smith touchdown. This time Anthony Henry on his side says, it's not going to happen on me. Steps right in front of that slant route, and Mark Brunell has some wheels, and he wasn't gaining ground on Anthony Henry at all.
So Henry with the 97-yard return for a touchdown, 9th interception of the season. This young man, a 4th-round pick, coming out of South Florida. Extra point is up and good. So Butch Davis relying on the rookie, Mark Brunell, pondering his mistake. And the head coach of the Browns says, "Attaboy, we're back in this thing." The rookie comes up with another big play. The 97-yard interception return for touchdown. That ties a franchise record set by Najee Mustafa back in 1993. But more importantly, Cleveland is right back in this game. Jacksonville leading it 9-7. Gibson from the 15. Gibson up to the 35, make it the 37, a 22-yard return. And Mark Brunell trots back out on the field. He has to have a short memory.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Circuit City. We know how you feel, that's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise, we'll pick you up.
Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Stadium with 2:17 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter of play, Jacksonville's lead cut to 2, 9-7 on the 97-yard interception return by that man, Anthony Henry, the rookie out of South Florida. And the Cleveland defense has scored 33 points this year. They lead the league in interceptions as a team. And he gets over the 41-yard line. Mack on the run. McCutcheon along with Boyer in on the play.
And Gus, let's go back to the interception. There's some miscommunication between Jimmy Smith and Mark Brunell. Watch Jimmy Smith. He's not going to run a slant. He's going to actually be running a slide route. Mark Brunell thinks he's running the slant. Watch Jimmy Smith's feet. He's going to stop the plant to go back outside, but Mark Brunell throws the slant, and Anthony Henry is waiting for the ball. And at what point do you put Anthony Henry in the Pro Bowl? 9 interceptions.
He's got to get there.
Huge year. Started off as a nickel guy. I don't know. Usually when you lead the league in interceptions, you go to the Pro Bowl.
2nd down and 6 over the middle. It's Mack, and he can't hold on. That one overthrown by Mark Brunell. So this 4th-round pick has turned out to be huge this season for Butch Davis's squad, and that's the story of the entire year for this Cleveland team. They refuse to quit regardless of what the score is. They've got tremendous support from their fans. This city is totally in love with this team, and this team fights hard every game. Brunell again underneath. Brady with a nice catch at the 40. And Brady is down. Kyle Brady.
And that takes so much concentration, guys, to go across the middle, because you know you're going to get just drilled. And when Kyle Brady first came out of college, I thought, hey, here's a big guy that can catch the ball okay. But he really does a nice job. Watch the concentration, taking his legs out from under him, landing on that neck and shoulder. Great concentration.
And we'll be back after this. Kyle Brady on the sideline. Made his 2nd catch of the season the hard way. He has 26 on the year, and that neck is causing him some problems right now.
And you saw him lifting his shoulder. That's usually a pinched nerve. He came right down on top of that shoulder and neck, got it twisted up. Heck of a catch coming across the middle.
First down at the 39. Mack over the right side, cuts inside. Nice play, but a flag. Usually means holding against the offense, but instead it'll be a face mask against Jacksonville.
And I actually think they're going to end up calling
Personal foul, grasping the face mask, offense. Number 31, 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
And Tom Coughlin's saying, what? Watch right here. Patrick Washington on Tyrone Rogers. Watch him get his hands up there and yank that face mask right there. And I don't know, didn't look like a 15-yarder to me. It looked like more like a 5-yarder inadvertent one because he let go. That's a huge penalty.
Brady still on the sideline. What do they ask you when the trainer is sitting there talking to you?
How's your neck feel?
That's it.
And you know what? No matter what it is, you say, I'm feeling good, and you get back in the game.
Here's Brunell. Into the flats. It's Washington. Fumbles the ball. Was he down is the question, and I believe the officials are going to say he was down. Gain 12. Anthony Henry with the tackle.
And you know what, Gus? I don't know. That ball might have been coming out. Once his knee's down, that's when the time is.
Clearly down.
And his knee was definitely down. Patrick Washington getting some of those yards back that he gave up with the face mask.
Jacksonville will allow the time to run out, and that is the end of the third quarter with the score 9-7. Jaguars on top of the Browns. Will return to Cleveland Browns Stadium right after this word from your local station. And take a look at the scoring by quarters. And this guy relaxing in the stands. Browns fans, some of the best in the National Football League. 2nd and 13 at the 42. Brunell to the sideline. Broken up. Anthony Henry once again. And this kid can play. They're going to have to stop picking on him, Brent.
Yeah, you think after 9 interceptions, teams would figure it out. What Anthony Henry does a great job of driving out of his back pedal. Look at how he drives that ball. Another half step, and he was off to the races once again. So when you're in your back pedal and you stop and you plant, you see that receiver planting, he is moving. Great acceleration to the ball. What a heck of a pickup in the 4th round.
3rd down and 13 at the 42. They need to go to the 30 for a first down. Brunell looking to the sideline. Smith with the catch and the first down.
And Gus fumbled that ball out of bounds, and I was just wondering if he had actually full control of it.
And Jimmy Smith took a hit.
And they talked about running that snake route to the post and back out around. This is what Terry Glenn and the Patriots ran against the Browns' 2-deep coverage last week.
Oh, that play.
And that's exactly it. They talked to us about it.
Too late now. Jaguars snap it. And Mack runs straight ahead and gets to the 20. Jimmy Smith today, 5 catches, 52 yards. He's shaken up.
And he took a shot to the head as well.
Also, Kyle Brady took a blow to the head, but he's expected to come back.
You know, the whole game is a blow to the head. I don't know what kind of a description of an injury that is.
So here we go, 2nd and 7 at the 20. They need to go to the 13 for a first down. Mack. Gang tackled at the 17. Tyrone Rogers leading the way.
And really the key to victory in this league is touchdowns in the red zone. Neither one of these teams have been able to really capitalize on their opportunities today. Too many threes leaves the other team in the game. That's really been the calling card of this Cleveland Browns team this whole season, is keeping teams away from the 6 points.
Mack in motion. Brunell. And Brunell loses it. Mack, though, is there to slide on the football, but Jameer Miller comes up with his 3rd sack of the day. What a player this man has turned out to be.
Punched that man's ticket to Hawaii, and when we talked to Mark Brunell yesterday, he said the very first thing he said is, well, when you play the Browns, you got to watch out for Jameer Miller. You have to know where he is at all times, and there he is.
So Mike Hollis, 13 of 16 lifetime versus Cleveland, including a 43-yarder today. This one from 46. Bad snap. They get it up. It's low and good. Nice job by Chris Hansen spotting that football, and Hollis knocks down a 46-yarder.
And you can see that ball's right on the ground. Hollis keeping his head down, just concentrating, puts it right back up through the uprights.
Jacksonville takes a 12-7 lead over the Browns here in the 4th quarter of play. A lot of time to go as Jared Holmes tees it up. From the 11-yard line, it's King. King bounces it outside, still on his feet. Stiff arms his way out of bounds at the 34, a 21-yard return. Gus Johnson along with Brent Jones, and hey, Cleveland showing that spirit to be able to come back in this football game.
Well, their defense has kept them in it, yet their offense hasn't scored any points today. They're going to have to score if they want to win, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
All right, so there's Henry. Maybe he can play offense.
Yeah,
maybe he can be like our Deion Sanders.
There you go. Turn him loose. A little prime time. He's looking sharp on the NFL today.
Sure is.
He's sharp. He's sharp. We had the same Taylor.
First down and 10 at the 33. Couch underneath. Caught. King gets to the 38. Now, following the game, log on to NFL.com and get the latest information on how the playoff picture is shaping up, as well as analysis from the experts. It's all at NFL.com or America Online. Keyword NFL.com.
And guess one of the knocks against the Jags and their defense thus far this year has been that they played too many soft zones. They haven't done that today. They played a lot tighter, been much more aggressive, kept the ball away from Kevin Johnson. That's been part of the Browns' offense struggle.
Only the 6th possession of the day for the Cleveland Browns offense.
Now, Jacksonville. Their first charge timeout.
So they have 2 remaining. Both teams with 2 remaining. 12-7, Jaguars.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by DirecTV, the #1 digital satellite entertainment provider. Message from America. Visit Circuit City today to record your message. And by Selsun Blue Shampoo to help keep your dandruff from sending the wrong signal.
Who is the best quarterback that never won a Super Bowl? Marino, Tarkenton, Fouts, Kelly, Moon, Manning. Log on and cast your votes at NFL.com. 2nd and 4 at the 39 to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Rod Monroe, the former power forward for the Cincinnati Bearcat basketball team, who's found a home in the National Football League, started with the Atlanta Falcons.
And when this Cleveland offense has moved the ball today, it's been getting Jamel White the ball through the air.
Bruce Arians, the offensive coordinator, trying to do his best as he can with not a whole lot to work with. Sideline broken up at the last moment. Nice play by Kraft, intended for Kevin Johnson, and Kraft has had a really solid game.
He's been all over the field as well. He's really stepped up today and made some big plays. Had the interception early. Watch him just drive the ball. Kevin Johnson.
Kraft out of Colorado State. So on 4th down, Gardocki sends it away. It's short. Gibson allows it to go out of bounds, and let's see where the official marks it. He marks it at the 28. A 31-yard punt for Chris Gardocki. No longer concerned with Whoville. Mr. Grinch in attendance, rooting on the Browns. 12-7 the score. 11:18 to go here in the 4th quarter of play. Mark Brunell with the pump fake, goes down the sideline and threw that one into double coverage. Jimmy Smith, the intended receiver, but Henry there defensively, and a late flag coming in.
And I think they were holding Gerard Warren once again, this offensive line for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Warren just continuing to collapse that pocket.
Holding. Offense. Number 34. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Stacey Mack.
And it actually wasn't Stacey Mack holding Gerard Warren, but Warren gets back there, takes another shot at Mark Brunell. Warren has been very disruptive this whole day, and actually Stacey Mack was holding Marquis Smith, who was blitzing off the slot.
Fans trying to get into it, many of them rising to their feet. Brunell, the screen goes to Mack, and he's tracked down at the 22. Raymond Jackson coming up and making the play, a gain of 4. Next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, stars from Sport and Screen, including Phil and Steve Mayer, Tony Danza, and Steve Garvey. Slalom head-to-head at the Merrill Lynch Celebrity Classic.
Can you ski?
No, not at all.
I'm not very good either, but I go fast.
I'm sure you do. 2nd down, 15 at the 23. Brunell. And Brunell loses it. Loose ball. Let's see. The Browns say they have it. But here's the question. Was his arm coming forward?
And we've had this 5 times. The Browns had it in the Ravens game earlier. Was the ball out before Mark Brunell's arm started going forward? If it started going forward, it's going to be ruled an incomplete pass. Let's watch where that ball is. You know what?
I think so.
I don't know if that ball out. They have a rule called the empty hand rule, and if it's knocked out and that arm starts forward and there's no ball, and they're going to review this. And I don't know. I think his arm was cocked, and I think that ball was knocked out before the forward motion started.
Play was a fumble.
They're going to review the play.
And you know what, Gus, the key to this is on the field, it was called a fumble. So that is the ruling. So the replay has to show irrefutable evidence to overturn the call on the field. Now let's see, there's his arm going back. It didn't look like to me it started forward. We had the same call in the Ravens game here several weeks ago, and it was right on the line. You saw his arm going back. It was going back, but the momentum of going forward, the impetus of his arm motion starting forward, I think the ball was out. And I think the way the rule is set up, that's going to continue to stay a fumble. And that was the ruling on the field.
We will see.
And that's so important what was actually called on the field, because we've had that so many times this year. And once again, it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn what was ruled on the field.
Huge play for the Cleveland Browns.
The quarterback lost the football prior to his arm going forward. It is a fumble. Jacksonville is charged with their 2nd timeout.
Gary, and that is the 8th sack of the day for the Browns. Greg Spires making the play.
And Greg Spires doing a great job getting his hands on Mark Brunell, coming around Maurice Williams on that right side. You see him maintain his balance and come right back into the pocket. And Mark Brunell goes to throw that ball, and there's nothing there. Wild skirmish for that ball.
So right now, though, the Browns offense has to help itself with the ball at the 14-yard line. They want 6. White in motion out of the backfield. They find Gay. Gets his shoulder square. Falls forward. Stopped at the 10 by Seth Payne. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
And we've got to give this Jags defense credit. They have done a phenomenal job versus the Browns today. Haven't allowed any points. The points came off the Anthony Henry interception return, and this Jags defense been backed up a couple times. They've risen to the occasion.
2nd and 8. And it looks like this will be against Cleveland. Ross Verba, the left tackle, moving prior to the snap.
Prior to the snap. False start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Coach Davis not happy about that one, but you got to talk about the nice job Ross Verba's done today against Tony Brackens, who had been on a tear coming into the game today. Ross Verba, regularly the left guard, going out to left tackle, taking the place of Roman Oben. We talked about a few shakeups in this Browns offensive line, giving Tim Couch more time to throw that ball today.
So instead of 2nd and 8, it's 2nd and 13 at the 16. Gay in motion. Here's Couch looking. Starts to scramble. Couch runs, and a flag on the play. Couch tripped up inside the 15 by Tony Brackens.
And guys, it looks like there might be a hold against the Browns. And it looks like they're marching the wrong way. Coach Davis saying, hey, what do we got to do? We get a great turnover. We're right there in position. Come up with a couple of crucial penalties.
There is no foul for holding on the play. Will be 3rd down.
Oh, they give him a do-over.
That's right. It's called a mulligan.
So you throw the flag, you make the holding call, and then all of a sudden you say no holding call. Well,
so the ball will sit at the 14. Tim Couch.
That's a break. I know coaches root for that all the time, and that doesn't happen.
So 3rd down and 11. They need to go to about the 3.5 for a 1st down. Here's Couch looking, dumps it off. Santiago chopped down. Nicely done by Wheeler. And the Browns have to settle for the field goal. Damon Wheeler.
Well, if they can make this field goal, it still puts them within 2, and then a field goal could potentially win it at the end of the game. But the Browns really had an opportunity to put it in the end zone. That false start penalty that's really hurt them, and didn't take a shot. Just threw 2- and 3-yard passes. Weren't very aggressive in that series.
Dawson in to attempt a 29-yarder. It's up and good. And with 8:09 to play here in the 4th quarter, our score: Jacksonville 12, Cleveland 10.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint PCS, the clear alternative to cellular. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Don't forget, coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. 12-10, our score. 8:09 to play here in the 4th quarter. Jacksonville starting inside their own 10-yard line. And this is a very nice return. And here comes Mark Brunell as Mika Ross makes the return. Mark Brunell and the Jaguars offense, they've struggled turning it over 3 times in their last 4 possessions.
And a big part of that has been the pressure by this Cleveland Browns defense. 8 sacks today. That's tying the Jacksonville record for most sacks given up set last week.
First down at the 34. Inside handoff. Mack running hard over the 35 and gets to the 38. Wally Rayner wrapping him up. And right now, Jacksonville wants to control the ball, run the ball as much as they can, and milk the clock as much as they can.
Well, they had Stacey Mack in the first half getting some more success running the ball, and they had kind of gotten away from that a little bit. They're going to probably try to grind it out, have one of those long drives, a little bit more balance. A screen, a draw, short passes underneath, and then a little more Stacey Mack.
7:25 to play in the 4th. This is incomplete, intended for McCardell in front of McCutcheon. And that will bring up 3rd down and 6 from the 38-yard line. With 7:22 to play in the 4th quarter.
And this might be the 3rd down play of the game right here. And like you mentioned, 7:22 left. And the momentum is clearly shifting to this Cleveland Browns team. You want to take away some of that momentum if you're Jacksonville. And the way you can do that is get a first down.
Here's Brunell throwing, caught by McCardell at midfield, and McCardell picks up the first down after a gain of 13, and the clock continues to run.
And you saw Keenan McCardell drop that ball the play before this, comes back, gets inside, nice little job against Dalen McCutcheon, looks the ball in, very normally sure-handed McCardell making a big play on 3rd down, tight coverage with Dalen McCutcheon contacting him a little bit downfield.
First down and 10. 6:45 to play in regulation. Mack, and he goes nowhere, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Gerard Warren catching him.
I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of yardage inside right now with Gerard Warren patrolling. If you want to get some yards, you're going to have to go off tackle if you're Jacksonville, and that's where Stacey Mack has got some of his couple draws as well, but Gerard Warren is controlling the middle of that line of scrimmage.
2nd down 11. Brunell underneath, caught by McCardell, and Keenan gets to the 40, maybe the 39, and a first down, a gain of 10. And Keenan told us yesterday, because he makes his living going over the middle, if you can take out the garbage, you can stay around in the NFL for a long time.
He talked about it being the dirty work, and that is dirty. And you take shots like that from linebackers over the middle. A lot of receivers don't like going over the middle, but Keenan McCardell making big plays. And once again, guys, we got a tight 3rd down, 3rd and half a yard. Expecting a little bit of Stacey Mack.
Double tight ends. Kyle Brady goes in motion. Now slides. Stacey Mack straight ahead, first down. Cleveland with 2 timeouts remaining. Jacksonville with 1. And it's a first down.
Huge 3rd down conversion. We talked about Stacey Mack getting it up in there, doing a nice job of jumping over the line. Whole lot of mess inside there, and that was a huge first down. Moves the chains, takes a lot of that Cleveland momentum away. Now Jacksonville clearly in Cleveland territory, and that clock continues to tick.
So Stacey Mack, 28 carries, 115 yards rushing today. First down and 10 at the 37. Brunell looking up top for Smith. He's open. Did he get 2 feet in? No, he didn't. Jimmy Smith open, but Mark Brunell for the 2nd time today unable to hit him in stride.
And a little delayed call by the official right there. You're going to see Jimmy Smith. That's a tough job over the shoulder. Gets 1 foot drag, and that other foot was
Stepped
clearly on the line. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mark Brunell would love to have that play back, but did you see Jimmy drag that back foot? That is such an athletic move, and he just missed by a half an inch of keeping 2 feet in.
Good call by the official. 2nd and 10 at the 37. Here's Mack on the draw. Flags on the play. Warren with another tackle. And it's holding against Jacksonville. Well, let's go back to that Jimmy Smith play once again. Key play.
And what a huge catch over the shoulder. You got to have 2 feet in, and clearly had Anthony Henry beat. Look at that drag right there. That's so impressive. But there's the front foot. Half an inch on the white. And you talk about the presence of mind to be catching the ball, falling away, and dragging that back foot. That is a tough reaction to have. Jimmy Smith, so impressive. And Mark Brunell just missed by a foot with that pass. He would have loved to have that one back, because Jimmy Smith had Anthony Henry beat.
Second down, 20 from the 47. Here's Brunell. Incomplete.
And we talked about that snake route that Terry Glenn and the Patriots ran a couple times versus Anthony Henry last week. Anthony Henry was right on top of Jimmy Smith this time around. Jimmy Smith stumbled a little bit coming out of the break, but the Jags thought that they could get that snake route on him a few times, but they weren't getting him to bite on it that time.
Third down, 20 at the 47. They need to go to the 27 for a first down. Brunell to the sideline. Brady with the catch, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 32.
Because that's close enough to almost consider bringing in Mike Hollis for that field goal. It's going to be about a 49-50 yarder. The problem is, if you miss it, Cleveland gets the ball at the spot of the kick. And I think the way Mike Hollis has been kicking, he's rallied and made a couple today. But that's a long kick in the cold weather. And I think if you're Jacksonville, you go for it.
And I believe they are. Matt comes back into the game. McCardell will split wide to the bottom of your screen. Dawkins at the top.
Gus running the ball in this situation if he gets out of the pocket.
Brunell fires. It's caught, and a first down at the 25. Keenan McCardell underneath again. Gain of 6, and the clock continues to run.
And Tom Coughlin saying that's the way to do it. That's the way to compete. And this is a big-time catch in a crucial situation. Mark Brunell sticking the ball right in there. Tight coverage. Dalen McCutcheon, McCardell's making some big-time catches here on this last drive. Tom Coughlin, that's what we need to do. A little first down.
So Brunell, 19 of 33, 196 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. First and 10 at the 25. Here's Matt following his blocks with a lot of running room, but a flag on the play.
And I think they're going to call Kyle Brady for holding Jameer Miller. And Kyle Brady is not happy at all. He got up clapping at first, thinking he had a really nice block.
Holding, offense, number 80, 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
And let's watch Kyle Brady and Jameer Miller. Kyle Brady, one of the better blocking tight ends in the National Football League. Let's see, he's got his hands inside, push, push, nothing as of yet. Hands extended, block, block. That is not a hold. That is a terrible call. That's a heck of a block on Jameer Miller, and it's tough to block Jameer Miller like that, and I don't blame Kyle Brady for being upset.
9 penalties, 85 yards for the Jaguars. First down and a long 20 from the 35. Clock starting to work against the Browns. Here's Brunell underneath. Dawson can't make the catch.
Boy, Sean Dawkins did a heck of a job of reaching inside and almost bringing that in. Corey Fuller was right there. You got to credit these Browns DBs. They are not giving up. Look at Dawkins reach inside, and there's the shot. Corey Fuller knocking the ball out, making a big play once again. That ball was almost up in the air long enough to be intercepted by Dwayne Rudd.
Second down, 20 at the 35. Brunell standing strong. McCardell with the catch. And McCardell downed at the 28. A gain of 7, 3:14 and counting remaining in the fourth quarter of play. And a timeout on the field has been called by the Browns. Cleveland with 1 timeout remaining. Jacksonville with 1 timeout remaining. Now don't forget, tonight on 60 Minutes, if the phone company can call you whenever they want, try calling them and see how far you get. Tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by an all-new Touched by an Angel. Then don't miss Emmy winners Patricia Heaton and Peter Falk in the world premiere of A Town Without Christmas tonight on CBS. .3:12 to go in the 4th. Jacksonville on top of Cleveland, 12-10. Here's Brunel. Gets out of the pocket, looking for the first down. And he goes down at the 18-yard line.
Boy, and Corey Fuller came up, and Mark Brunel had to slide, and that was so impressive. Because if they get that first down, the Browns only having 1 timeout left, they were going to be in trouble. And that is a huge play. Now if you're the Jags, you got to go ahead, take the field goal, and make the Browns have to score a touchdown, Gus, to come back and beat you. They're going to have 1 timeout. Not a whole lot of time left on the clock. And
So,
once again, Gus, that Jags defense has been tough all day. And so go ahead, take the field goal. Not a long one, 37 yards. But what a crucial stop that was for this Cleveland team. And it's the same thing that they've done all year, not allow touchdowns.
3:02 to go. A 37-yard attempt. It's up and good. Mike Hollis good today from 43, 46, and now 37. And with 2:57 to play here in the 4th quarter, Jacksonville extends their lead.
I guess I had said the Browns had 1 timeout left. They've actually burned them all, so they have no timeouts left. And it's so important at the end of the game to be able to hang on to those. Although 2 minutes and 57 seconds left, you clearly have time to run your 2-minute offense. And if you have any type of a drive, you know, basically 3 minutes isn't going to come into play.
And don't forget, coming up, it's the Subway postgame show. Join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. So Mark Brunel orchestrating another solid drive for the Jaguars. They don't get 6 or 7 rather, but they will take the 3 points, and it gives Jacksonville a 5-point lead. 15-10, and this Cleveland offense has struggled the entire day.
And what do you got to think about here on kickoff return team? You cannot have a stupid holding penalty or a stupid block in the back. That can really set you back. You got to be careful. Get some good positive yards on the return.
Holmes sends it away. Short kick. King picks it up and gets all the way up to, I believe, the 34-yard line. A 15-yard return. So with 2 minutes and 49 seconds remaining, Cleveland out of timeouts, down by 5.
And right now, I'd go to Jamel White out of the backfield. Get the ball in his hands. He has some vision. He can use the sideline. That's been their most successful weapon of the day. The Jags have really taken Kevin Johnson away, and it's been tough. You haven't seen a whole lot of that this year because Kevin Johnson always rises up in key situations. But Jamel White has really been the big part of this offense today.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Couch looking underneath Santiago with the catch. And O.J. Santiago, some tough running. Gets over the 45 up to the 48. Now, the Pittsburgh Police Department has called us on the story that I reported earlier in this game. I spoke to O.J. Santiago. He told me that an apology was issued and that his marijuana possession was reduced in Pittsburgh as Johnson catches it and goes out of bounds at the 31. Now the Pittsburgh Police Department has called and said that an apology was not mentioned and the charges were not reduced.
And
but a 21-yard gain.
And watch Kevin Johnson on the corner out here splitting the seam. And it's tough to contain him. We said the Jacksonville Jaguars defense has done a pretty good job keeping him in check, but he rises up in key situations. Kevin Johnson, one of the big-time receivers in this National Football League.
Here's Couch pumping. And Couch is wrapped up and taken down. And the clock stops on a sack, 2:17 to go. Remember, we still have the 2-minute warning in which the clock will stop as well.
And Eric Westmoreland coming from that linebacker position on the blitz. Got to Tim Couch. Nobody picked him up. Got his hands on Tim.
Here's Couch to the sideline. King can't make the catch. Ball was thrown behind him. He would have had to make a tough catch, but he was unable to. And that brings up 3rd down and a long 12 from the 34.
And I know I've said this a couple times, but still the best chance, Jamel White coming out of the backfield one-on-one over the middle of the field. Or, of course, you go to your money man, Kevin Johnson. And I know the Jags are probably thinking Kevin Johnson. They're going to probably roll a safety over there on top of him to give Jason Kraft some help.
Here's Couch. Going up top, it is caught at the 20-yard line. King once again with a nice catch and a 1st down, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. The Browns trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, down by 5, but knocking on the door. Two minutes remaining in the 4th quarter of play. Tom Coughlin looks on. Butch Davis knows that his team needs a touchdown to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's a 1st down. At the 20. Tim Couch looking. Pumps, goes to the sideline, caught. And Quincy Morgan gets out of bounds, wrapped up on the play by Hardy Nickerson.
And guys, this is a situation where if you're the Cleveland Browns offense, you can't worry as much about the clock. I know you have no timeouts. There's still 1:54. You got to be more concerned with the plays that you call, with the holes in the zone defense. Even use the middle of the field coming across. You can't be worried as much about the sideline. And I know it's tough when you think you have no timeouts, but 1:54 is a heck of a lot of time.
Clock stops. Kevin Johnson goes in motion. Here's Couch. Pumping! He loses it. Couch, though, falls on the football. Was stripped on the backside. I believe Bracken's got a hand on it. And the clock.
Boy, and Tony Brackens, and we hadn't mentioned him all day. Ross Verba, it's been a big battle over there, but in the crucial times, there comes Brackens.
3rd down and 8. The slant to Kevin Johnson. And Johnson will be short of the 1st down. The ball comes out, but he was down by contact.
And the whistle blew, and that's really the key.
1:22 and counting.
Now the clock keeps rolling. You can't panic if you're the Browns. It's 4th down. Huddle up. Don't get on the ball. Calm down.
And Kawaki Thomas has to get all the way down the field. And now a timeout called by Jacksonville.
And you know what? Kawaki Thomas, they had to call it because he had picked up that ball and raced 70 yards down the side of the field. In the meantime, they ruled the ball down, and the Browns were going to get up on the line of scrimmage. So if you're Jacksonville, you've got to call timeout because your corner is down the field.
So Johnson makes the catch.
Boy, and I don't know if that ball wasn't coming out before Kevin got his knee down. And you see he's saying, I was down, I was down. Once the whistle blows, though, you can't review that, Gus.
So Cleveland out of timeouts, and they catch a break. Jacksonville has to call their last timeout because Kawaki Thomas was all the way down the field. Now Tom Coughlin on the sideline. He's got that nervous twitch.
When the Browns almost went up on the line of scrimmage knowing the clock was running, hey, it's 4th down, you've got time, huddle up. Don't worry about the touchdown right now. Worry about getting those 2 yards for the 1st down. How about Jamel White? We haven't seen him catch the ball in this drive.
White lines up as the single setback. Couch, pumping, looks backside, underneath. And it's Cobb Morgan with the catch at the 10. And he did a tremendous job to hang on to the football. Gets the 1st down, clock still running.
Now just spike the ball. Don't even waste the play. Or maybe they're even calling a play.
And he spikes it. And the clock stops with 48 seconds remaining.
And I'm just wondering if that was going to be one of those fake spike.
I thought he was going to do that.
It looked like
a la Peyton Manning earlier this year against New Orleans.
And you know what? What the Jags are saying, when his arm came forward, you actually have one chance to spike it. They're saying that that's a fumble. Or, you know what? They're not a fumble. I'm sorry, Gus. They're saying that it's intentional grounding because he wasn't out of the pocket. So you have that initial chance to go ahead and spike it, but he faked it. And at that point, when he throws it into the ground, it becomes intentional grounding because you're not outside the pocket. Look at it. See the fake right there? He did it the 2nd time. So he wasn't throwing it to anybody. So what they're discussing is, should that be intentional grounding?
Should it?
Yes. I believe the way the rule's written, that's exactly what it is.
So this is what we've been told. That the replay officials on the previous play, the 4th down play, they tried to buzz the referees on the field, and they wanted the ref to take a look at where the ball was on the Quincy Morgan reception to review it.
Replay buzzed prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass was incomplete or complete.
That's the 4th down reception by Quincy Morgan.
So they actually overruled that last play, and they're trying to see if this is a catch or not. And you see it sliding out from Quincy Morgan, and that ball didn't necessarily stay in the grasp of Quincy Morgan. It looked like he was trying to pull it up. And so forget the potential grounding call, which I thought the Jags were going after originally. They were saying Quincy Morgan was juggling that ball. And I actually think he was. You have to have, Gus, you have to have possession and 2 feet down. And if that ball's gonna hit the ground, you're gonna have to maintain possession. That ball can't be sliding around. And Gus.
But what Butch Davis is going to argue is that it's too late. It's too late because another play had already been run. And how can you go back 2 plays?
And I guess there was a malfunction in the system. That's what they said. They were buzzing down, trying to get the replay. I didn't see the red flag come out from the Jags sideline.
Butch Davis is going to argue this until he's blue in the face.
And Gus, you know, you can't challenge in the last 2 minutes, but you can clearly get the ref's attention by jumping up and down and throwing that flag. I want to go back and see if Quincy Morgan had that ball and had 2 feet down. It was very close because the 2 feet only count once you have possession. And you can see the ball sliding down his leg right there. Now he got 2 feet down, but did he have possession of the ball when he got the 2 feet down? Is that, see, you can, there's holding onto his leg, and it looked like he still had it there, and then it was coming out.
Wow.
And so
this is a mess.
I think the way that the rule states is that it goes back to what was called on the field. They called it a completion. So it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. And they ran another play, which I've never seen happen in this.
After review, the pass is incomplete. First down, Jacksonville.
So they say he was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play has been run, I have never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play. And I mean, this is serious stuff here in Cleveland. This is a playoff spot potentially on the line.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
And it's getting ugly here fast.
So Jacksonville will take the football back at the 10-yard line. Because of this, they say this is an incomplete pass.
Boy, I don't know. He had those 2 feet down. Then you see the ball coming out.
But what the fans are upset with is the Browns were able to get to the line of scrimmage and run another play. But then the officials went back 2 plays and made the ruling. They said that there was a malfunction with the communication system between the replay officials in the booth and the officials on the field. And here was the play. They snapped it before the referees or the officials were able to stop the game.
And we were talking about the potential grounding call, but the Jags were talking about the play prior.
And the rules are pretty specific. Once another play is run, it can't be reviewed.
And so they were talking about the malfunction in the system. That's what the replay booth has called and told us. But we don't make the rules.
And bottles have been thrown on the field.
And that's one thing that we haven't had since replay has come back. We haven't had that situation, Gus, where another play has been run and we've gone back.
Fortunately, those bottles are plastic. But these Cleveland fans are irate. And they're trying to clear the end zone.
Yeah, well, the Cleveland fans aren't helping any right now by throwing stuff on the field. They got to know better than that. And it's frustrating. The players are frustrating as well. And the players are sitting on the sideline looking around dazed, trying to figure out how this happened. And we've just
Butch Davis still arguing his case.
And we've just never seen that. Once the play is run, it's all over. And you see teams before try to get up to the line of scrimmage and run another play so they can get beyond the review if they feel it's going to go against them.
So,
well, what the officials need to do is they need to get on the PA and get control of this game and get control of the fans. They're letting it get out of control because they're not communicating what's going on. Take some control down there and get this situation going. Let us know why and what happened. Talk about the other play being run off, because that is an unusual situation. You've got to let everybody know what's happening, because just like up here in the booth, nobody has any idea what's going on because they're not telling us.
the Browns came into this game with 6 wins, hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive, needing a win today over Jacksonville.
Well, the one thing you got to do if you're the officials right now, if the ball is indeed Jacksonville, then just call the game and get these guys off the field. It's not worth somebody getting hurt. If the fans are going to throw crap on the field, take control and get the players off the field, because this is ridiculous. Just get rid of the.
So let's take a look back. Tim Couch Here he is. Watch the referee in the left part of the frame. And that referee is not blowing anything dead until after the ball was spiked. And now they're going to call the game.
That is the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was the right call.
48 seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to take the
I think this has been just a fiasco by the referees today.
Well, that was the right call. You got to end the game. If the fans are throwing crap on the field.
Especially when you consider how big of a game this was for the Cleveland Browns. This is ridiculous.
Well, I'll be anxious to hear the official explanation of the way that replay situation came down, because once another play is run, you can't go back.
And these officials really need to get off the field.
And you know what? The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room. And Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what to say or what to do. So let's go back. Here was the 4th down catch by Quincy Morgan, or non-catch.
And they ruled it a catch on the field. So remember, Gus, it has to be irrefutable evidence to overturn it. I don't know if it's irrefutable evidence to overturn it. And they run the next play. There's the referees. They let their next play run. Nobody's blowing a whistle. Nobody's doing anything. Now this official's going to wave off the play. Incomplete after
the ball had been spiked.
Well, miscommunication and a problem with the replay system
may have cost the Cleveland Browns a chance to go to the playoffs.
You've got to communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
So the game stopped with 48 seconds left on a call that I'm sure will be talked about in Cleveland for probably the next 6 months. 15-10 the final score. And there's the scene.
And the fans are just littering the field. And a fella right in front of us, Gus, got hit in the head with looked like a radio and just split his head wide open, and he's down. And the fans have to be smarter than that.
Once again, here's the 4th down play. Quincy Morgan.
Now it looked to me like he had possession. Now you got to have 2 steps. And that ball was sliding, but did he have it pressed up against his leg?
About the snap after. About the snap. You have any kind of clarification?
And there's Tim Couch on the next play, spiking the ball. So another play was run after the Quincy Morgan's catch had already been ruled a complete pass and a 1st down. No mention of trying to go back and look at the replay during those 30 to 40 seconds.
So the referees are claiming, this is what the referees are claiming from replay, is that they were saying they were blowing the ball dead as the ball was being snapped. And from what we've seen on our replays, that's inaccurate. So what an ending. Jacksonville wins 15-10. A controversial ending here in Cleveland. Coming up next, it's the Subway postgame show. They're going to talk about this for a long time to come. You've been watching the National Football League on CBS.
Let's go to Gus Johnson out there at Cleveland. Gus?
All right, Jim, a wild sequence of events have taken place. Both teams went into the locker room. The officials went into the locker room as well. And from what we understand, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue called the officials in the locker room and has said that this game must be completed with 48 seconds remaining. And the score 15-10. So let's take a look at actually what happened. The entire controversy, it was a 4th down. Quincy Morgan trying to make a catch from Tim Couch. And let's take a look.
Quincy Morgan's going to come underneath. have to have possession. That means possession of the ball and 2 feet down. And the Browns get up to the line of scrimmage here and run a spike play. Tim Couch. And once you run another play, you can't go back and replay.
And listen for the whistle. Clearly after the ball had been spiked. And then the official, the referee, then looked down at his buzzer. And I believe that's when he was notified by the replay official in the booth, saying that the 4th down play should be reviewed. But the controversy comes in, the play had already been downed, and whether or not they can go back 2 plays to review a play.
And you can't. Once another play is run, you can't do that. And you know what? There was no whistle blown between Quincy Morgan catching the ball and getting the 1st down and the next play. It was very obvious. You could hear the audio. There was no whistle.
So most of the fans already on their way home. But some still here at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Just a wild sequence. This is what they wanted to review. Once again, Quincy Morgan, was it a catch or was it not a catch?
And you see the ball sliding down his leg. He had 1 foot down with maybe possession. Getting that 2nd foot down, that ball was sliding even further down his leg. So they ruled that that indeed was not a catch. The problem coming from the fact that they went ahead and ran the next play. You see Tim Couch right there spiking the ball and going ahead and stopping the clock. Here's a referee saying incomplete pass. There was no whistle, nothing prior to the play, and nothing prior to the snap. So another play had been run, and therefore you can't go back 2 plays to review a play.
Now watch the referee after he rules it an incomplete play. Now watch him go to his hip. You don't see it on that angle. You saw it on the other angle. Do the other angle. Now watch this angle. You should be able to see it. After it's ruled an incompletion. First, the 1st down. The controversial catch or non-catch.
And you see him marking the ball right there. They're not reviewing it. They're not blowing it incomplete. So the call on the field was it's a catch. It's a 1st down. They're marking it. None of the officials are blowing the whistle. Nobody.
And keep your eye on the referee.
And that was the first time you blew the whistle. And Gus, you were right. You checked his buzzer right after he blew the spike play incomplete. And so many different things going on. Actually, the spike play was the 2nd motion down. Tom Coughlin was arguing the fact that it was intentional grounding on the spike play.
And he's going to his buzzer after the play.
So another play had been run, and they were trying to go back and replay, although it's too late at that point.
The Browns should still have the football. And right now, we don't know who will have the football. With 48 seconds to go, the officials called the game because the fans had started to throw bottles and cans, and one gentleman sitting in front of us was hit in the head with a Walkman or a CD player. So it's an ugly scene here in Cleveland. So here in Cleveland, we still are up in the air. In the meantime, let's go to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, we've got it over at 1 point.
Well, they can't call it. They can't review a play that's already been a play run after.
All right, back at Cleveland Browns Stadium, 15-10 is the score, and both teams are back onto the field, or both one offense and one defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the football. The Cleveland defense back on, and this is what happened while you guys were away. Cleveland came back onto the field, stayed for about 10 minutes, then left, came back on, and then Jacksonville followed him up, and according to our reports, the game was officially called with 48 seconds remaining because of the fans throwing bottles and cans onto the field. However, when the officials got back in their locker room, according to our reports, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue called and said that the game had to be finished. So let's take a look at what happened. It was a 4th down. Quincy Morgan made a catch. Then the Browns got back to the line of scrimmage. Here it is. Here is the catch or the non-catch. You make the call.
It was ruled a catch on the field, Gus, at the time. You see the referee spotting the ball. Side judge out here. They're spotting the ball. It's a first down.
And then Tim Couch gets to the line of scrimmage. And the whistle blows.
We on the air. Take mix minus out of my ear. Take mix minus out of my ear.
So with 48 seconds to play, the officials are still trying to sort things out. Jacksonville keeps the ball. No timeouts remaining for either team. And now the Jaguars huddle up. And they will take a knee for 2 plays.
And I'm sure it's not going to be pretty at the end of the game. Once again, here, both teams running off the field.
So one more play remaining. The Cleveland Browns, 6 wins on the season. This is their final home game of the year. Their last 3 games will be played on the road, and that should do it. Now both teams head into the locker room, and this one will officially be over. And the Cleveland Browns fall to 6 up and 7 down as Tom Coughlin and Butch Davis shake hands at the center of the field. So an ugly scene here in Cleveland. Wild sequence of events. The officials will be criticized and scrutinized the entire week. And I don't believe we still, even after all this, we still don't know if the ruling was accurate or not. Nor have we gotten any kind of confirmation from the officials or anybody. So once again, the first ruling was this a catch or wasn't it?
And at the time on the field, they ruled it was a catch. Possession in 2 feet. After looking at the replay, it looks like Quincy Morgan was still juggling the ball. It was actually sliding down his leg.
But then this play ran off, and keep your eye at the top left of your screen. Couch spikes it. It's ruled an incomplete pass by the official right there. And later he would go to the buzzer on his hip, which was a signal from the replay booth up top. So the final from Cleveland, 15-10, Jacksonville beats the Browns on a wild day here in Cleveland.
Gus, I tell you, what a tough way to go out of the playoff.
I've never seen anything like this.
Never have. All these years with replay, once another play has been run off, we've never seen a crew go back and replay a play before that.
So 15-10, the final. The Jaguars have defeated the Browns. Wild day here, Jim Nance. Let's go to New York.